If you had a Mount Rushmore, and you're on Mount Rushmore, who's on there with you, Karl?
Boy, that's a really good question. I've never had that question before. And you gotta put, I think you gotta put Jurek on it because he's sort of like his whole run at Western started in '99 7 times. I mean, he's also more popular on social media now. I think he would have to be there. I think we have to bring back one of the old guys, like well before my time. God, who that would be? A guy named, I don't know if you remember a guy named Park Barner.
No.
So this is pretty old stuff, but this was in the 70s and early 80s. He was one of the sort of guys that sort of pioneered ultra running in long distances, Park Barner. And I think we have to put Dean Karnazes on it too. Because, Dean wasn't the fastest runner out there, but Dean did a ton for the sport. When he wrote his book, The Ultramarathon Man, the guy was on Letterman, right? And when Letterman was so popular, this ultra runner guy writes his book about, running 300 miles on pieces of pizza or whatever the hell he was doing. I think, I know that Scott doesn't love Dean that much, but maybe you don't put him next to him, you put him on the far side. But I think Dean brought the sport a little bit more mainstream. I mean, we didn't have internet when Dean was doing his thing, but I think he'd be really popular. So Dean, Scott, myself, and again, Park Barner's sort of a name thrown it out there because there were other guys. Stu Middleman was another guy. Like, you might want to put a woman on. I mean, putting a woman on there might actually be a good idea too, and that would be Ann Transon for sure. Ann Transon. I mean, maybe even you might even take Park Barner off and put Ann Transon on it. Because what Ann did in the sport, some of her records are probably still out there. And Ann's Ann's about the same age as I am. And what she did in the sport, especially from a woman's perspective, she was running with the men. She almost won Leadville. She was running 7 hours for 100K. She was doing things that women were at the time weren't even close to. So I think Ann Transon deserves to be on there too. And do I deserve it? I don't know, because like in my career, I felt that, it's weird to say this, but I don't feel like I've gotten all the respect that I've deserved sometimes. And maybe now I have this amazing record and all that stuff, but a lot of times, like when I won Ultra Runner of the Year in 2006, I won 600 milers that year. I won 4 in 8 weeks. I broke records. It was an amazing year for me. And the person that was behind me by only 2 votes was Scott Jurek. And Scott won Western and he won Badwater. And those were close together and they were tight and they were great performances, but that's all he did. And I won this vote by 2 votes. And I was like, come on, man. I'm like, I have this thing like locked down, whatever, but I think that's a popularity thing. I didn't always get the respect I think that I deserved. And I'm fine with that. It's whatever, do I care? Not really, but it's one of those things that back in the day, like Karl just won Hard Rock. He broke the record by 3 hours. Karl won his 5th Hard Rock, and it was like, meh, But that's where social media started kicking in and all that stuff.